Happy Frigaroken! It's Rainbow. I'm back on this beautiful Friday. And what a joy! It's Friday the 13th. I'm so excited. Happy Day of the Goddess to all of you. I'm excited to continue this journey, and we're going to continue talking about Pussy Willow Potential. And we're going to start from the beginning a little bit and talk about the Pussy Willow. The Pussy Willow. Look at this one. This is a print I made in college. Do you see that willow stem there? And the Pussy Willow coming off there and up here. You can see the little stamens coming off of it there. I love willow. Willow is something that is extremely dear to my heart. And so, as you can see, I have my willow baskets here. And this one is really cool. Like, if you look inside, you can see these little pussy willows in there. I don't know if you can see that. If I put my hand on the outside, there are these little pussy willows in there that are still connected to the willow branches. They're also known as catkins. But it was fun to be able to keep that one in my basket. And this was one of the first ones I made recently. I've made numerous baskets over the years. I learned from my mother. She was a basket weaver, so I'd like to say that I was weaving baskets in utero. This one's cute. It has a little handle. And then this one's a little bit bigger. This one has two handles. So with my sculpture, I was making willow armature for my sculpture. And the idea of my sculpture, it was Pussy Willow Potential. So there are numerous aspects that are so important about willow. I think every child should know about willow. So willow, number one, is a natural aspirin. Sometimes you see animals chewing on its bark. Aspirin is in that bark. So if you need natural aspirin, find willow. The other thing that is really important about willow is that it is a water cleaner. It cleanses water and pulls toxins out of water. So that is essential. Its roots can go up to a mile long finding water. So if you're looking for water, willow will show you where it is. Oh gosh, let's see. Number 4. It is a pioneer plant, which means that it rebuilds the soil. And that is a very important aspect about willow. And number 5, structural integrity. You can weave out of willow. This is what's so amazing about willow. It has all this potential. Do you see where that name comes from? Pussy Willow Potential. So the idea of Pussy Willow Potential sculpture that I made was, it is so small and tiny, that little Pussy Willow can fit in the palm of your hand. Actually, I think I saw some right down here. Let me see if I can get that. Was it? Yes. It fell off my basket. It is tiny. Look Look at how tiny it is. That's one of those little tiny catkins. So it is so tiny, it can fit in the palm of your hand. The potential of it is so big and expansive, you could make a home out of it. You could make a structure out of it. You could make a wigwam out of it. And in essence, I'm in Foxy's Gur right now. This isn't made out of willow, but it's that concept. It's so small and tiny, it can fit in the palm of your hand. It's so expansive, you can go inside of it. So that was something I really wanted to share with you. Is all that amazing stuff about willow. And let's see. Here, these are like the Pussy Willow shapes I've been working with over the years. So it would be like that on a stem. And these are actually made out of cast bronze. Little Pussy Willows. And the jewelry I'm wearing today is some Pussy Willow jewelry I made. I actually made this for my wedding. I think that was 15 years ago. And I made a whole set of this. And so this, if you turn it upside down like this, that's how the Pussy Willow looks coming off the stem. So with this sculpture, these little pieces, this is silver and this is felted wool. And wool was something that was giving me that look of like the fuzziness of a Pussy Willow. And so the beginning of my sculpture, Pussy Willow Potential, was this silver willow coming up. And then I was needle felting little wool Pussy Willows or catkins coming out of that. And then doing cordage, wool cordage, so I could connect it all to a bigger one and a bigger one and a bigger one and a bigger one. I think like the biggest one I made that was solid was about this big, all needle felted. And after a while, I had to figure out, okay, how do I go larger without making it totally solid wool? And then that's when I started working with the willow baskets and the willow armature inside and the needle felting on top of that, which is where all this knitted and then wet felted blankets started becoming important to go over that willow armature. The idea of this sculpture was that it was all made out of natural materials. It was made out of willow and wool, and that it could go back out into nature and the birds could eat it or take it off to their nest and they could make little bird nests out of it, and that it would just return back to Mother Earth. And I did have it out in nature because the wool moths got to it. However, I started remembering that when you needle felt, sometimes the tips of the needles break off inside and you break needles, which means I was having little short pieces of metal like this in my sculpture. Once that thought came to me, I said, oh no, these little poor birds here, they're like, yay, I get something for my nest, and then they eat a needle. And I ended up taking it to the dump, which was hard, but I also didn't want to harm the birds and the animals. So when I took it to the dump, I was like, rising phoenix, go wreak havoc. Go make it, go make that potential thrive, transform. So, Pussy Willow Potential, all about the potential of willow and how important it is for all of us to know those 5 things that you can do with willow. Speaking of willow, this is my Pussy Willow band ring. This is silver, intertwining 2 pieces of metal. And it's a bunch of different pussy willows. Yes, I'm on a kick. I'm on a roll. So I wanted to really share that about willow and how dear it is to me and how important it is to know. So if you're in pain and you need some natural aspirin, go find yourself a willow. There's lots of different types of willow out there. And my understanding, I believe what I've heard over the years is that the actual pussy willow is like only located in Oregon and Washington. Like the scientific willow, maybe, I don't know. But I love springtime. I love seeing the catkins coming out. And we know when spring's coming. And the abundance. The abundance. So I look forward to next time. I do have my coffee. Those of you who know me, I love my coffee. I have my coffee and I have my hot pads. So continuing the journey of the hot pads. Continuing this journey of the hot pads. I needed to give you a little bit of that willow background. Huge love, huge gratitude. Until next time, happy Frigaroken. Happy Day of the Goddess. Ciao.